In this video I have the final of the 3 Akai components. Guess we should try and get that with its handles. This is the Tuner AT-V04. What have we got? FM mute off 1 and 2, so 2 different muting modes. Stereo mono, we want that on stereo. Preset stations, memory. Stereo tuning either side, it'd be like 2 red LEDs and a green one, I assume. Fluoro display, signal strength, auto, oh, it's got auto tuning, so it actually can search. Oh, is that the menu? That must be the manual tuning, and that's so you just press a button and it searches by the look of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Didn't even think about where the actual tuning knob is, but that must be it. Little tiny thing. FM AM, of course. Got access underneath there to the board. And let's have a look at the back. Oh, the dusty back that it is. We've got your AM rod antenna, looks like an FM 75 ohm, they give you a bit of wire, 300 ohm, a local and distance. So if you're right under the transmitter, that stops it overloading the front end. Looks like we've got some sort of antenna and ground for the AM. FM 75 ohm, which is nice. AM's got local and distance, so that's interesting, you can actually switch both of them. So that's pretty cool. So if you're near an AM transmitter but not an FM, oh, this is a worry. Muting level, so you can adjust that mute, one of those or both those muting levels. Output, of course, you've got a, I assume, output level control. I hope that'll be set, to max. That's set to max. Something I just noticed, which I should have checked before. What you never want to see is batteries written on a bit of plastic. What lovely surprises await us in here. Oh yeah, not the best. I wonder when they were put in there, probably back in 1980 or something. We've got 2, look at that, they're nicely gold plated contacts by the look of it. Not on this bit, but at least nothing bad's corroded so far. That could have been a lot worse. The good old ever ready 9 lives cat batteries. They've definitely rotted, but no, there's no corrosion on the metal. Wow. Gotta love old school batteries. Yeah, it's amazing. I never even knew it had batteries in it, but I guess that's for our memory, because this is 1980s technology, and as in the year 1980. And yeah, memory, what they call it, non-volatile memory, is it? Was non-existent at any sort of decent price anyway. I doubt these have got any date on, but there you go, made in Australia. That tells you all you need to know. 1015 size A Union carbides, made in Australia, and that one's pretty rotted. I might keep one as a souvenir of the 80s. I've already used a few of these in my life, but that rotted one can definitely go in the trash. But just your zinc, carbon zinc, they had quite a good solid zinc housing on these things back when they actually cared about making stuff that didn't mess everyone's equipment up. But that was a bit of a shock when I saw batteries written there, which is why I sort of said something during the, does it go the other way, upside down? No, that's not right either, I don't think. You must have to slot onto that. Oh, you slot in under it. When I was looking at those level controls, well, that's what you got to watch on these bits of equipment. You just never know what you're going to find. Let's get rid of the worst of that dust, because that's going to annoy me otherwise. And we've got, 75 ohm, but of course these, not sure why they did it and didn't just make it so you could plug it into your TV antenna, like have a socket. It's got a plug instead, but you can use a VCR lead or something. We might just hook to the 75 ohms where that wire's hanging off anyway, and the rod antenna might be enough for AM. So we can try the antenna into it, I guess. Let's hook to the FM 75 for now. Yeah, nice to see even an earth connection. So this is like a sort of 70s radio or something. Japanese always made some pretty nice radios, and that would work just about anywhere. And this has a little delay, I think. Oh, there it is. So we've got some lights on. Signal's doing something. We're on 100.9, so that's one of the stations. Turn the amp on. It was 100.7. I can't remember. The tuning is out according to this. 101.7 HOFM, isn't it? Yeah, full signal, but I'm not hearing anything. Oh, we've got muting on. Still not hearing anything. Am I on the right input? No, we've got the volume down. Yeah. Did I plug into the right lead then? Oh, not plugged in at all. Alright, let's plug it in. And the usual bit of staticky sound, some of that's just ghosting where I am. So not the greatest tuner.
Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Great show. Bye.
So I think it tuned below it and then found it again. Oh, we're missing a couple of other channels though. Where's... Oh, let's go manual. How do I override it?
3 points off. 35.
Yeah. Won't let me go up past that frequency. That's a bit annoying. It would have been nice if it goes back to 92.9.
Super special comments.
There's a few stations that's missing. I'm not even sure what some of these channels are. So it goes past and then back and then doesn't quite get it perfect. Whoops. Who told you to go back up there?
McDonald's a player that hopefully can...
Cho nên thì năm má sẽ nở mày nè bạn.
I'm going to go through all that again. Oh, maybe it's because I turned the manual thing. I got it. Seems to be seeking a bit to 0.65.
Play.com.au.
Thanks for calling the Heat Pump Shop.
I'm somewhat nocturnal during it.
This is Triple J. Oh. Oh, what just happened? Now it found Triple J. Display does flick into some random places. Can I... Now, as soon as I touch it, it goes back up to that frequency, so that's a bit weird. Got to tune all the way back down. Not... Yeah, not the most sensitive tuner, I don't think. I'll try this other channel if it picks it up. That should come through well, but it doesn't. I think that FM mute off actually goes mono, is what it sounded like. So we turn the mute off, it goes mono. That's rather weird. But that is pretty bad reception. Maybe if we shift over to the... Well, I probably should be getting rid of that other antenna too. Let's try it with that gone, because that's probably multi-pathing thanks to that to a degree. If not, we'll try either the 75 or the 300 ohm. About the same, I think. I should really hook to the TV antenna for this probably. Because this is not a good FM reception area, but we've been doing alright off other things. So I need the joiner. Let's get rid of that other wire. That's better.
August on Triple J Mix Up. How you going tonight?
Those two channels are pretty bad here unless you set an antenna up for them. Okay, enough of that. So not the greatest on that band. Let's go to the other one. AM.
Real and Georgia score much better tonight, 17-23. McKeon is the interesting runner. Blunt and Landrigan looking to combine here for a double.
Here, McLean. We'll do the count. We'll do the count later. But if he kicks this could be 3 goals in 10 disposals. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit different to use. I suspect this display's a little on the dim side, but
the team is raring to go for the first
that's where it is. On the wrong frequency.
Great health, which is really important this time of the season, and you know this is when the real stuff starts. So it feels like it's just getting to the starting blocks.
Earlier, Adelaide claimed the minor premiership with a 13-point win over North Melbourne. And you're up to date with the latest on ABC News. For more news at any time, you can download the ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Radio National.
In the morning, 15. And in Tasmania, fine after areas of morning frost and valley fog. Light winds tending northeasterly during the evening, 14 degrees in Hobart.
In Darwin, it's time now to head back to our broadcast partners at the BBC.
News.
Hello and welcome to News Hour from the BBC World Service. Coming today,
Certain way, it's in a slight pedestal, reverence around this music, which is very well deserved.
Not get anywhere near to the amount of aid that could be delivered by lorries. In the first 21 months,
118, the Swans, 79.51. 67 points. And what is it?
You've got to be honest. I want to shoot special.
Outclassed, so as much as you want to say effort and attitude, the talent is so far apart.
Has authority.
Short to Gordon, defensive 50.
North Penamar in the third leg. Good luck if you're alive. Favourite 260 Blazing Warrior having his 5th try here at headquarters. Yet to win his place.
Right, Ramon Pacon,
A person holding back the rest of the class because they can't comprehend what's going on.
Anything going on?
Not to concede another goal there.
When they blink right, that's a no-no. That's a no-no.
Contributed this year, so it's...
Places in Moonee Valley is up. It is up, and you've got...
Play Slam.
Kind of a shame we no longer got 92 The FM anymore. The community station used to be quite good here. 92.1 I think they were on. And Triple Jar 92.9. And yeah, one thing I never really noticed until now is 92 FM's disappeared, so that's kind of a shame. I used to play some good alternative music and stuff back in the day. But I guess with the modern world, a lot of stuff's going online. 87.8 used to be Energy FM. They're now online only, I think. That was the dance music channel. So a few things have changed, but yeah, that seems to pick up reasonably well. Not the best one we've listened to, but not too bad. And I guess I could try the memories out, but yeah, I don't think we'll worry about putting batteries in there just yet. But obviously you could press memory, and I assume 1. We can probably do it until we turn the power off anyway. Yeah, 92.1 always used to be the one. Roughly gone back to 87.8. Oh yeah, 92.9. Likes to go 0.5 off on the auto tune, even the memory, so that's a bit weird. Maybe that needs a slight adjustment. Or maybe the frequency's off or something. Saying tuned. I think sometimes it hunts on its own, so probably a problem with this early stuff. It might have hunted around a bit. I guess I might as well switch it off and take a look inside. It needs a good clean, of course. What handles did we get on this? MH1s as expected. Since this is only sort of 1 unit height, I'll have to get the measurements off them, I guess, so we know exactly how they relate to each other. 1 screw in the back. Well, it's pretty chockers in there. Looks like again we've got a fuse to set the voltage between 110, 220, 240. Sanyo chip LA3380. Another Sanyo A1231. Some little JRC LA1240. So Sanyo seem to be pretty popular in making radio chips, is what we're finding. Got a low pass filter there. Not sure what brand that is. What's that got? QQQ on it. TCR, TCM, TCO, LALRIF. So actually, I think that does actually have a circuit board that sits above the main circuit board. So that QQQ thing must have come as a module. So some sort of front end IF strip module. Some little add-on board there. And yeah, we've got a little bit of a weight on that thing or something. And what is that going to do? Some sort of, oh, it's just a potentiometer by the look of it. So it must keep going and going. Or maybe it's geared down so that we only rotate it once. And it stopped rotating there with that screw on the top. And it stops with nearly just past that screw being pointing up, so Well, that one nearly done a full 360 degrees. Die cast case on it. That's our display in there. And one thing I was thinking, oh, there's the actual display driver, is some of this digital stuff probably makes it a bit noisier. We've got a massive Sanyo chip in there, LC7207. That would be the display driver probably. Resistor array, Toshiba TC4012, 4011, TA7590, TC4011, LA5700. I don't think Akai ever made any of their own chips. So a lot of these companies would have made extra profits by making their own semiconductors, making their own picture tubes and stuff, but Akai never did any of that, as far as I know. I better not say never. A couple of 10.7 filters or something there. No doubt for the FM, but I think this is mainly power and digital stuff. Caps will look alright in it. Guess we could check a couple, but I want to have a look in the manual to see what some of these trim pots do. See if we can get that frequency to lock in right on the frequency. Better get that wire out of the way too. That's going to get squashed by the cover. That's not the greatest idea, especially being the active wire. But yeah, nothing too exciting in there. I'm going to just give this thing a bit of a clean. Yeah, it's got a few little rust spots on it as well. Quite a few scratches, unfortunately. This was probably on top of the pile, who knows. So the fact they've all got rust, I wonder if moisture was trapped in between. This was on top, the cassette, and then the other thing, though I don't think the pattern on the cassette player matches this, but maybe, you never know. It's possible the top actually dried out and stayed right, and something got moist and didn't dry out more underneath it. Who knows what the story is. But certainly looks better cleaned up. And need to get down in the little slot there. Plenty of muck came out of there. So they've all got this matching sort of front bit on them. So definitely part of a set. So some of these tape decks and stuff, I guess, were just sold separately. Hard to know really back at what people bought in the day, because these things get split up over time and people sell or give away one bit and end up with the tuner or the tape deck or whatever stashed away until they get rid of it. The amps always seem to disappear quickly because they're always useful. But that's that one, and probably not much we really need to do with it. I might have a quick look in the manual, and that's it with and without handles. Yeah, certainly makes it quite a longer unit with that, and we can make them disappear, and it's just pretty much a standard tuner. Though digital, which would have been pretty fancy back in the 80s. This whole system, I don't know if Hi-Fi Engine or somebody tells you what they cost, but they wouldn't have been cheap, I don't think. Just that tuner would have been quite a bit of money. So someone with a bit of dough who wanted a good system forked out for this one. And yeah, you probably had to have the money to buy all the parts from the same company. A lot of people like my parents just sort of assembled bits over time and upgraded some of them and so on. So you didn't have a nice set of all the same brand from the same era. But if you had a bit of money to spend, you could buy the whole system like this of all the sort of higher end stuff, because all these features cost a lot of money back then because electronics wasn't cheap. I'll give these handles a bit of a clean up. They're certainly not mint condition, but this one can almost do with a respray, I think, or like I say, just flip them upside down and you wouldn't know any better really. This one's not too bad. The other one's a little bit dodgy on one side. Bit of moisture damage again. But that's at least got them cleaned up. So I could probably do a little bit of a scrub on the rubber as well. That's got a little bit of something white, but that's come off. So again, I'll put them to one side for now. But I wouldn't mind keeping this as well, just as a display piece. It should look good sitting on top of the amp, and you can just leave it switched on with the display running. And yeah, I suspect, I don't know, it's not too bad to view. It doesn't come out the best on the camera. It does have a little bit of blackness under that thing there, so I don't know if something's got under there, or the glue, the perspex is peeling off or something. That's a little odd, unless someone messed it up in the factory, which I wouldn't think, but it's like some glue or something's either separating or something's crept under there. It's possible a bit of oil or something got on it and soaked under. So there's always a few little defects like that. The more you look at it, the more you spot wrong with these things usually. Always something. But yeah, it doesn't come out best on camera, but to look at normally on the side, it's pretty high contrast and enough brightness. Not sure if that can be adjusted, probably not. But it does seem down a little bit. But in the conditions I'll be using it, will be pretty dimly lit anyway. At least most of the time, at least when I bother turning this on just for a bit of a night display. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's even an original wire. That looks like someone split half a piece of figure 8 speaker wire. That's the one with a black trace on it, so I don't need to keep that with it. Not that it matters much anyway. But if it's an original accessory, I like to keep it with the things. The model of this is an 04. The amp is an 04 AM or something. U, was it? But the cassette player is completely different GX, but I guess there might have been options of cassette players. So maybe like that other one I got somewhere, so maybe there were options of like a base model cassette player, then the one with the music search and stuff, so there wasn't really a matching cassette player for these. I guess if I poke around on somewhere like Hi-Fi Engine, I might be able to find other models that are got a similar, because normally they come out in a range of models all with similar numbers, just the letters changed or something, if they're all part of a basic set. Some were actually designed to be a set, of course, and sold together. Other ones like these you just pick and choose as you wanted. So that black thing's spreading, so I think that's liquid I just put in there. So that should dry out again, hopefully. I hope so. But that must just be the cleaner I put in there. Oh, at least that's all it was, because I didn't notice it before. So I'll put this somewhere warm and dry it out a bit. And that's all I'll do on that one for now. I might follow up if I do find anything about adjusting that tuning to get it to try and lock exactly on the frequency. But otherwise this thing's only going to be relegated to display piece. And probably best kept with the amplifier, since this is something that really kind of matches it, though no one seems to want to tune it much anymore. But at least if they're kept as a pair, the cassette player probably doesn't matter so much. But that'll do for this one, so thanks for watching.